What would you consider a villain? Someone who is evil or someone who is made that way? Well, obviously both will be correct. However, would you consider someone who is pushed to their limits with mankind to seek a reset of that very humanity, though they still hold the same mindset of saving any who need it? Is it mentality that makes the villain, or is it the actions? Today, I seek to uncover that with our villain today, Lysandre of Team Flare, a man who I have described in the introduction verbatim. Is he evil or is he flawed? My name's Talon Talks. Let's dive into it. Firstly, we must talk about Lysandre's goal. Lysandre is seeking to kill nearly all beings because everyone is stealing from one another, and there is nothing left to share. There's hardly enough to go around, and Lysandre's goal to change that is to balance everything out, by taking the undesirables out of the equation. How he tries to do this is by taking over Zygarde, the Pokemon of Order, because Order seems to have been lost from this world. His motivation is world peace, but he's doing it in an outwardly violent way. Classic idea of villainy to contradict what they're saying, but it truly is something I cannot get enough of. Pain being my favorite example, because people need to learn pain to get to peace. The bringers of that peace may not demonstrate it, but they will bring it as the idea here. But here, he's protecting the chosen ones for a brighter future. He still seeks to change the world for what he sees is the better, and he has a list of people who will make a better world, while he is still wanting a new world to be brought forward to humanity, which is objectively good. Though the flaw in this is obvious, killing the innocent. But when you have a villain who is willing to go that extra 100 miles, you have a great villain who you have several routes of judging, by his actions, by his reasoning, or both. But is he truly evil if he's doing this for the betterment of humanity? Yeah. But does he think he is evil? No. Which brings me to my final road of judging someone for being evil. Does Lysandre think he's evil? These things must be considered when making a villain, and are one of the archetypes for making a villain. Yes, his actions are evil, but he has a moral reasoning because he wants to help people. And finally, he does not think he's evil. Therefore, he is a villain with a flawed morality. The thing making the morality flawed here is the fact that his actions are evil, and that they affect other people. But another aspect of any great villain is the hero who goes against him. Lysandre abuses the noble to get his wish for a new peaceful world. A world free of greed and strife. He used Ash to gain control of Zygarde, and he's using Zygarde to change the world into his image. He used Talon, who was fighting for this character's chestpin, to power his goal through to the end of his life, or the world he was changing. Ash might have been one of the chosen ones from the words of Lysandre, but he is going to strip the bond phenomenon from Ash to power his goal, world order. Not only is Ash the hero, but also is Zygarde. Zygarde is order, which is a major part of XYZ. Not only do you have Xerneas and Yxtal, the Pokemon of life and death, but acting as a way to balance each other out, but you also have the Pokemon of Order, the one who stands between them, Zygarde. A Pokemon and trainer cannot work as one if one isn't willing, and one cannot become Mega without either willing. He's the means to the end for Lysandre. He also is the embodiment of what Lysandre wants, or at least is the opposite of that. It's the balance versus the imbalance. Zygarde is the Pokemon of Order, placed his will and life into those people who care about the world as much as he. That's also why there are two Zygardes, but that also gives the reason for the hero to have a villain, because order is balance, and if one side has too many, it's quickly unbalanced. Ash 2 in all of this is showing that he and Lysandre are two opposites, as the hero and the villain. How exactly though? Well, specifically in the fact that Lysandre has given up. He thinks that the only way to make a world better is to kill those who don't fit his view. Instead of educating them or finding a different way, he just thinks of killing everyone is the best option. Lysandre has given up, but Ash has not. Ash has shown time after time again that he will not go down even when it seems impossible for him to win. It's those around him and his own will that keep him moving. Pikachu falls off a building, Ash jumps off to save him. Ash loses several times in a row, Serena informs him of who he is. Hell, the opening lines in the intro music is "Stand tall cause I know that I'm a winner, knock me down, I'll just get up again." No matter what, Ash will never back down. Lysandre, however, is outwardly trying to change the world. Why? Because because he has already given up. Using character dynamics between these two in this way is what makes these characters easily understandable and quick to the cut. It also helps me that I'm on a 4th grade reading level and that this show is made for kids. So a win is a win, my sons. Ash highlights many things, like the tomorrows being taken from people and wounds being healed. This relates to Lysandre and the fact that he is not healed, and using that as motivation to take everyone's futures away. For Lysandre, you come to realize that he is protecting his vision for his world. Ash trying to preserve what he has, and Lysandre trying to change what he has. You come to realize that in this world, it seems, bad situations come through good acts. No good act goes unpunished after all. He's doing all this because he has done good deeds and helped people. He had hope, but the moment those people turned on him and expected these things, he had abandoned his wish to help people and decided that he will decide who will benefit from his continuing but flawed love for life and who will be damned by it. Lysandre wanted to take just one side of humanity and bring them to his new world while exterminating the other half. That's what's terrible about him. You don't need me to tell you that, but it's what makes him a great villain, and what makes a great villain is not just the villain, but it's the combination between their actions and the hero, because it's a balance and order that makes a villain great. And Lysandre to the end believed in what he stood for, a better future for those who deserve it. But the problem was that he thought most didn't. He wanted an unbalanced world of smart, peace-seeking individuals that had one goal in mind: the better man's needs. But what does the better man need? The better man doesn't need a world free of flaws, nor a world that just has what one man saw as valuable. The better man needs a world that has the good and the bad. A world that has anyone and everyone with and without flaws. A world that has balance. But what makes a villain out of a better man is that the balanced world threw them to the curb. My name's Talon Talks. Thank you for watching.